Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. You may remember that I did a video recently of putting up some bird barriers on some vents that I had here. They're working out great. That was a few days ago, but when I did that video I did take a look at the mess that the birds were making on the steps here, and I've since cleaned the steps up. And I've also thought, well, you know, looking at the wall here, I've got lots of places where I've got mold and algae and a lot of peeling going on. So let's take a look at let's take a look at what I can do about that.
The next morning.
All right, well, so on with the wall project. My next thought was to you know, a lot of this old coating that was on here is kind of loose, so I thought, well, what can I do to help get it off? So I used my pressure washer here to get as much as I can off of it. It shoots a pretty good high pressure stream. It's electric, it's not a gas powered one. Gasoline powered ones tend to have way more push behind them as far as PSI goes. But it's doing the job. And while I've got it out, the pressure washer, I went ahead and, you know, did some other things. I did the sidewalk here, and I also did the wall. Now I'm noticing that on the wall, you can see here, there is a, you know, a bit of mold built up on it. You can see parts where I've done and not done. But what I'm finding in some areas, I'm finding little holes on top of the brickwork here. So that's probably where I'm getting the water penetration at. And I'm going to go ahead and seal those up and make sure that, you know, I minimize the amount of water going down into the block, because I think that's what the real issue is.
The next day.
Well, all right. Well, what I've done so far, I've done about maybe a third of these blocks here by scratching it with this wire brush that I have. It's not a wire brush like this where it's flat. They're each end is actually like knotted like this. And I'll show a close-up of that here real quick. Okay, so you can see it's like a knotted wire brush there. And I've just gone along here on the top section here. I think about a third of it I've gotten so far. Took me maybe 20 minutes to do. And as you saw in the video, I'm using my respirator mask for concrete dust, and also some safety goggles, which I think in total this might take me 45 minutes or an hour to do. And then my plan is to, you know, hit it with some muriatic acid, and what that'll do is that'll edge that concrete really good. And I'll go then later and use my Drylocks here that I have. Now these are a couple years old, but I think they'll be okay. All right, and the respirator I'm using is especially for concrete dust.
72 hours later.
All right, well, here we are. It's a couple days later, and what I've done in the meantime is I've pressure washed everything down on these this wall to get as many of the chips off as I can. And before I go put my Drylok back on here, I thought, well, what I'll do is try to get the moisture out of the concrete. And I'm going to use this fan over the next couple days to get it really dried out, so the Drylok will take and really set in. Okay. Also, while I had the pressure washer out, I went ahead and pressure washed the concrete that was out here along with the wall, so it really made a difference. And one thing I noticed is that I did have a lot of little gaps inside the wall, where, you know, water could penetrate down in. So what I'm planning to do is not just seal this up like this, but also come in and put some type of sealer. So I found a water-based, a latex-based sealer that I think will do the job very well. Any extra I have, I'll go ahead and use on my sidewalk as well. All right.
The next day.
All right, so I've got a nice sunny day out here, and I'm trying different ways to paint this wall. But I tell you, the best way I found is this way right here. Hi, Terry. Okay. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Terry.
The next morning.
All right, well, it's been a few set of steps to get this project done, all the way from cleaning the brickwork down, scrubbing it with the wire brush. I also did some other prep work in between, but now we've got all the paint on here, and should be good to go. All I've got to do is I'm going to let this fan run overnight just to get a nice good dry on this coating. Go ahead and do some touch up. I've got some holes in the brickwork here where it's got to be filled up, and then I'll touch up with a little bit of paint that I've got left over, and then I'll put my handrail back on. But it should be good to go by then. Well, a job like this, you know, it takes quite a few steps and days to kind of do. So you got to make sure you have the right weather window to do it also, and of course the time. Well, hopefully it helps somebody out there have an idea what kind of time or steps it takes to do a job like this. But definitely a good candidate for a DIY project that you can do on your own. And it should last for years. All right, well, thanks for watching, everybody.